Respiration in organisms and the human respiratory system, from Chapter 6 Life Processes, Science Class 10. The process of releasing energy from the food, that is glucose, with or without oxygen. Now, respiration is of various types, but the step 1 in all the types remains the same. This is the conversion of glucose from a food into pyruvate. This is a 3-carbon molecule. But there are 3 different conditions in which the step 2 of respiration process can take place. The first is in the absence of oxygen. This takes place in yeast during the fermentation process. This releases ethanol plus carbon dioxide and some amount of energy, which is 2 ATP. We will learn about this in the following topics. This type of respiration, which takes place without oxygen or in the absence of oxygen, is known as anaerobic respiration. The second is in the lack of oxygen. This takes place in our muscle cells when we do a lot of amount of exercise. This produces lactic acid, which is a 2-carbon molecule, and some amount of energy, that is 2 ATP. This is also a type of anaerobic respiration, and this can also cause muscle cramps due to the buildup of lactic acid in our cells. The third type of respiration is aerobic respiration. This takes place in the presence of oxygen in our mitochondria. This releases carbon dioxide plus water plus energy, and a lot of amount of energy, that is 38 ATP, is released during this process. This is called aerobic respiration. This energy produced by the process of respiration is used to synthesize ATP. This is adenosine triphosphate. Now let us learn about the formation of ATP. So in our cytoplasm, in our mitochondria, the ADP, that is adenosine diphosphate plus inorganic phosphate in the presence of energy form ATP. Now what is this ATP? It is the energy currency of all the cellular processes taking place in our body. And if we try to break it using water, energy of 30.5 kilojoule per mole will be released. Now let us learn how do different organisms obtain oxygen required for this respiration process. Plants, they use the stomata for their exchange of gases. Aquatic animals, they use oxygen dissolved in the water. Now how do they use it? First, they take in the water through the mouth, then this water flows past the gills, and then the dissolved oxygen is taken up by the blood. Terrestrial animals. In this, we will take the example of humans. The human respiratory system. Step 1. The air is taken in through the nostrils, and the hair and the mucus present in the nostrils help to filter the air and prevent any dust, germs from entering into our lungs. Step 2. This air passes through the trachea and it enters into the lungs. Now, in the lungs, the passage divides into smaller and smaller tubes. These are known as bronchioles. At the end of these bronchioles is a small balloon-like structure called alveoli. The exchange of gases takes place in this alveoli, and for the exchange of gases, it has an extensive network of blood vessels. Step 6. Now we breathe in the air. In this process, our ribs move upward and the diaphragm moves downwards. So due to this, our chest cavity size increases and oxygen-rich air enters into our body. Step 7. The blood brings carbon dioxide rich air from the body to the alveoli, and oxygen is taken up by the blood in alveolar blood vessels to be transported to all the cells of the body. Step 8. Now we breathe out the carbon dioxide rich air. In this process, our ribs move downward and diaphragm moves upwards. So our chest size decreases and carbon dioxide rich air exits. Now let's understand the human respiratory system with the help of a diagram. So first, oxygen rich air enters into the nostrils. Then it travels down the trachea and enters into the lungs. In the lungs, it divides into smaller and smaller branches and known as bronchioles. In this process, the diaphragm moves downwards and the ribs move upwards. Finally, the air enters into small balloon-like structures called alveoli. It is here that the exchange of gases takes place with the blood. The carbon dioxide rich air enters into them and we breathe it out.